going on, everybody? My name is Kemet High, and I'm sitting here on behalf of Double XL with Currensy. Appreciate you for staying on.
Oh man, I'm glad that you reached out, man. You know what I'm saying? The world is ever changing. Yes. Jim Jones said some shit this morning about the mass adaptation, and we all have to adapt to the way things have changed and figure out how to monetize our lifestyles and continue to get money and live the lives that we have become accustomed to through being blessed to get a foot in this game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Real words right there. Real rap. Word up. All right, so let's jump right into it. So today, as you guys probably know, NFTs been making headlines everywhere. A lot of talk on social media. It stands for non-fungible tokens, and essentially what it is digital files that people are now selling. It can be memorabilia, it can be songs, it can even be projects, which is the reason why we're on with Currensy today. So do you want to talk about that? It's called Financial District, 7 tracks. You want to talk about the backstory?
Yeah, well, shit. I'm actually in the process of making all the records right now. We were gonna we were gonna compile records from the computer, because I go to the studio and I do like 7 records a night when I go. So it's like we were just gonna get one from one night, you know, and put together the project. But with the idea of what an NFT is and why it means so much to the purchaser, you know, who's purchasing the NFT, and the fact that they're purchasing something unique and rare and not so easily accessible. And it makes the fact that they spent their, I guess you could say, they spent their hard-earned crypto dollars on purchasing it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, nah, I might as well lock back in and just do 7. You know, let's just lock in and do one day of work, and that way we all, you know, all feel the same, feel fluid, and it's one cohesive composition, and a motherfucker will get it and know, like, yo, this was some shit he did just to exist in this space, and everyone who purchased it will know about it. It's up to them, you know, to not put it, I guess, on YouTube or whatever, and just share it with play it for their family and shit like that, the same way you would do if you had like a fucking Picasso or some fine art in your house, and you would have people come over to see it. You wouldn't let motherfuckers take your painting to their house for a few days. Yeah, you could keep it, bro. You wouldn't run it through the copy machine so motherfuckers can have it too, you know, but they would be able to come to your house and check it out. So I hope that Financial District ends up being an audio art experience through NFT where people hold it dear to them, and you know, it'll be a conversation thing, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And for the real fans at that. And that was one of the things.
Absolutely. That way you eliminate some of the fly by night, you know. You end up, the higher you get in the industry and the different circles you become accepted in, you end up sharing fans. And people, you know, if so-and-so is dropping, then so-and-so dropping, you might, you know, the attention might be split because the listeners aren't so true. Exactly. Those are fans. When you have an underground faction and enough support to where you could live like a mainstream artist, that's different. And those are listeners. Those people are listeners and supporters. That's what I always say about Jet. Like, been like a motherfucker back, I've been a fan for something. I'm like, man, I hear you, but it's like, you just been, you know, you've been a listener and appreciator of the art. Not so much a fan like the kid who tears his shirt when Hulk Hogan come out, and he tear his shirt too because Hulk Hogan tearing his shirt, but he's tearing a shirt that his mom bought him from fucking JCPenney's, right. And it's a real shirt, and he was supposed to wear that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for real.
But yeah, so
that's cool. And I was gonna ask that as well. So when the fans go in and they purchase Financial District, how does that work? So do they own it outright for the rest of their lives? Do they have the rights to, for example, upload it somewhere else, or how does that work?
It is theirs,
okay.
And that's the thing. Once you spend yours on it, did you buy it to bootleg, like to throw it up and put it up for people who didn't spend to get it. You know what I'm saying? So I expect people to keep this shit to themselves because they are the ones who bought it. You know what I'm saying?
No, exactly.
That's the beautiful thing about it, and that's why I'm so excited to be able to create something for this, and that's why I couldn't just piecemeal the project by just grabbing records. You know what I'm saying? I would rather just do fresh songs. When I'm done with this, I'm getting in the car and I'm going to the studio. So by midnight, 1 a.m., we'll have everything banged out. So that's the way. You know what I'm saying? It'll be on this day that we created something that motherfuckers will have forever, and they're gonna treat it like that. You know what I'm saying? So it starts with the way we roll it out, the way we carry it. There's press releases and shit for this, so I can't just poo-put the music. I gotta put my foot in this shit like it's something that I want fucking to go on fucking like touring and fucking on all kind of major publications and carrying on and performing the records and shit. But this will only exist in a cyberspace, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. It's just like all that digital art that's selling. Like my homeboy Trouble Andrew. He's responsible for all of the more edgier shit that Gucci had put out over the last few years, like the shit with the ghosts and shit drawn on it, the bags that said fake and shit like that. Like that's his doing, and he NFT'd some of his designs. And when I saw him do that, I was like, oh, like for real, because that's something that's directly from him. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's a collaborator with all these major high-end designer brands and all this shit, what they spend money with him for is his ideas, and he's monetizing his idea directly through this NFT shit. It's a beautiful thing. For anybody who's creative, man, it's crazy. We got some plans, bro, for fucking digital lowrider parts, because there's NFT, that there's cars and shit people are buying in this NFT. Motherfucker bought a DeLorean the other day. I saw that on, and he's like, it's his. So he's just putting the motherfucker in his Instagram post, like photoshopping it under his elbow and just leaning on his car. It's his fucking car. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. So we going NFT fucking automotive custom parts and everything, bro. You'll see. This is, and it's good for people with imagination, and in light of everything we've been through and the world changing, everybody had to tap in with their imagination a bit more.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers kind of started understanding what the Sims and shit was about and being into that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more Second Life accounts and shit.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Speaking of which, you were talking about the DeLorean, and I was doing some research. I saw that they're on there selling things as weird as like farts for $85. So I had to ask, what's the price tag that you're gonna put on Financial District?
Bro, wait, shouldn't hang this phone up. I'm trying to call us. Where'd you go? All right. Yeah. Honestly, at the end of the session, when we done recording, when we done with the work, we will appraise it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? As soon as we get done with the work, we're gonna sit back and appraise it. Be like, fuck, you know, what do you do for that? Because me, I don't know how to put a price on shit, because I hate to hit people in the head for paper, because I didn't always have money. So when I used to get hit with a price tag, when I was like, oh shit, I gotta think about if I want to do this. Do I really want this motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Like when I didn't have no paper and was thinking about like an ice cream Letterman jacket, and it's like, all right, that motherfucker is $1,500. Commitment. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's so important to me that when I touch 1,600, I'm about to fucking give up 1,500 and be back to just a bean. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So with that in mind, I still have a heart, and I know a motherfucker love this shit and they'll do anything to do it, but I want to try to make it, you know, we're going to come up with it, bro. We'll come up with it after we'll appraise it. You know what I'm saying? After I drop the jewels, then we'll look at that motherfucker with the little shit that they look at the diamonds with and shit and see like, all right, man, this has to go for this much, you know?
No, absolutely. And I mean, based off the catalog, it's gonna be fire.
Yeah, I'm not about to drop the ball at all, especially because this is a large responsibility because everybody who rolls the dice, they essentially rolling the dice, purchasing a musical composition they haven't heard yet. It's not like I can fucking do pre-orders on one of the streaming sites where they can hear some of the shit. They're just buying it sight unseen, trusting me, you know, buying grenades from me, trusting that when they throw this motherfucker, it's gonna explode. You know what I'm saying? So that is a great responsibility for me to carry, and I'm down for it, you know.
Yeah, straight like that, man. And you're definitely an artist who, and I know you pride yourself on this as well, like you keep your foot on the gas, like you're always dropping new music. What's the logic behind that? Just flooding the market.
Yeah, well, it's not hard for me to do because I'm only rapping about, you know, what I'm actually living. So it's fun because as I accomplish things and do things, I want to tell everybody about it. So the same way the homies will pull up to the driveway and look at whatever car I just bought. It's like, how can I tell the whole world, like the people who give a fuck about me in the world, how can I share with them the experience of me getting this Wraith? Like when I bought the Wraith, and it was like, well, nah, we got to do owner's manual. Sorry for the Wraith, and let them know like how fucking pumped I am about this shit, you know. And so with music, I always have a chance to chop game with people, and that's what the human experience is. No matter how much of a recluse or how much you stay out the way, you still value interactions with like-minded people. And through music, I've been able to build a clubhouse where only fucking men and women who have the same ideas about the world and our existence and our time here are allowed in the clubhouse, and we all agree it's a good thing, man. We agree on that. We disagree on other things, but we are like-minded, so we know how to convey and express one's ideas to each other in a way that we don't conflict. You know what I'm saying? It's not a problem. That's how I could do a show, sell that motherfucker out, jump off the stage and walk out through the crowd back to the bus and have all my chains, have my Rolex, both my pinky rings, whatever money I have in my pocket, everything's fine. You don't see me on motherfucking, like, I don't even know, like, the sites, like, the messy sites, so a motherfucker like, oh, and so it got his chain snatched, and blah, blah, blah. It's just not going down like that, because the motherfuckers who fuck with me, like, they know that they bought me these chains. The motherfuckers in the crowd know. It's like, we helped him do that shit, so it's good, you know?
Yeah, no, nothing.
Yeah, so with this NFT, man, that's what I'm saying. It's such a responsibility for me because people trust Jet Life as a brand. So much so that they'll pay in the upwards of $500 for Letterman jackets when we release them. Fucking Nas had one on, like, post-Grammy win. Like, Nas, you won the Grammy. Cool, thanks, that's dope. I want to put on this fucking Jet Life jacket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like that.
So with that being said, an NFT associated with the Jet Life brand, I have to steer the ship and make sure that this motherfucker is the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my whole goal on the day. You know, and the good thing is that my listeners know that I do a whole project in a day. So this does not mean that I'm gonna go and rush them something because it's the NFT project. I'm just gonna go slam Financial District in one day. That's where I come from. So that's really a zone that they rather me in because Covert Coup, fucking Cigarette Boats, all these projects were fucking one-day joints. So, you know, if they know what's good for them, they will get down with us, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And you brought up Nas. I have to ask you off of that. So he's been making headlines this week. He reportedly might make 100 M's just straight off of Currensy.
Fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Because he got in. Do you know what it is, bro? He got in early. He got early. Jim Jones was talking about the shit he posted on Instagram. And I want to say hats off to Jim because, and it made me think of a few things. I don't want to get off the path, but when we lost Nip, everybody became a bit more conscious and vocal about being active in creating change and making things, you know what I'm saying, and creating change and making shit better. All right. Then, you know, as our minds get clouded with the other shit, the focus has shifted again. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, like death culture, murder culture, and shit like that is back. Like I heard some fucking dark records the other day. Fucking just riding to the satellite radio. I heard some dark records. Like the beats was hard, and these young niggas had flow. But I'm like, you know, I'm from it, so and I know they from it too. But that shit hurts. Like you from it, then you know it hurts. So it kind of make me not really like to hear it celebrated so much. But I'm saying that to say this. Jim posted this part about adaptation and about Nas's getting in early with that whole deal with what would they call Billion Coin? What's the name of the company?
Bitcoin.
No, not Bitcoin. What he invested in was it was a whole other thing.
Yeah, you're right.
It's another name.
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. So he did that. He invested in 2013. So that's how it ended up working out like this. But that's the narrative that we have to create, changing the narrative and pushing shit like that, talking about that. Like just Jim logging into his Instagram and talking about that shit happening hit me this morning, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, because just in the midst, I am about to make an NFT venture, you know what I'm saying? But just seeing about Nas getting in early and shit like that, because as these things come about, the Dogecoin and all this other stuff, people are like on the fence and wondering what they should do, and the whole time they're on the fence, these things are taking off, and by the time they're ready to jump in, the money that they had that would have got them started is fucking peanuts, and they can't even get in.
I'm saying.
So for Jim to push that out there as an example of what getting in early could do, like that's the game we don't have.
Yeah, that's right.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm blessed enough to be able to have, I think I heard it on Big Mouth. I never knew what it was. Code switching. I didn't know that I could always code switch my whole life. So I was able to soak up game from both sides of the world. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. But Jim said some shit that we needed to hear about, and it hit me different because he said it. So that ties into with us losing Nip, and we were once trying to be more like him and talk more about shit and put our folks on game. You know, I want to tip my hat to Jim Jones for doing so presently right now, and the shit inspires me and pushes me to want to talk more and continue, because we can, like, we have the fucking, I don't want to sound fucking corny, like, but we all have the power to get into all of these things early. And stop saying that that's not for us to do. We watch movies and you see the other motherfuckers who did it. There's no difference between us and them. Like, we all human, bro. So motherfuckers just have to make moves and be vocal about how to do it, and educate your homies and shit on how to bust moves. And you know, so that again is why this fucking NFT experience is so important to me, and I'm so glad that fucking E and Musa and everybody was able to make this shit work out. We have it's actually a bundle with the project. We're giving them a fucking NFT fucking backstage pass to the concert that I'm doing on 420. Oh. So purchasing the project also gets you right into the green room for pre-show, smoked out, and post-show. you know. So that's some major shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you talk about sucking up game from different sides, and you've been just over the years establishing yourself as a businessman as well. Have you?
Yeah.
Are
Well, I'm
you?
trying. That's how you stay around. And what I've learned is you want to make money with souls that you encounter. You like, oh man, the dude's cool or she's cool. I will want to fucking hang out with them again. Instead of fucking getting high with them, y'all gotta figure out how y'all gonna make money because that keeps y'all's friendship going. Because y'all have more reasons to celebrate. You just getting fucked up with somebody, that's a bum and y'all tearing each other down. If y'all are making plans, putting them in motion, y'all deserve to fucking pop a bottle on Fridays because Monday through fucking Thursday, y'all was busting ass. So do it. And that's what keeps friendships rolling. Like me and my manager, me and Musa was just buddies, but it's like, nah, let's fucking bust a move. And we launched all these companies and shit. And there's so many reasons that we have to line up every day other than just to talk shit about fucking booties and fucking who's fine and what car is coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, no, first, let's look at these designs. Let's do this. Is this mixed down? Let's do this and can we turn this in? What about these bikes? We're doing a collaboration with one who's really fucking major in the extreme sports world and shit. I fucking talk about that in a minute, like later on, you know. That's a whole nother conversation, you know. Right now, it's about what's existing in this digital realm, you know. It's too big, bro. It's too big, you know.
Yeah. Are you into crypto and like stocks and trading and things like that?
This is what I do. I have two friends I trust a great deal.
Okay.
And with that said, they're not so much brokers for me, you know what I'm saying? But they advise me on what's smart, and we roll the dice. We roll the dice here and there on some things. I've never fucking lost my pants, so it's good, you know.
Word up.
Yeah.
Okay. So another thing I had to ask you, images all this week were going viral of you being in photos for Jay-Z's cannabis company MONOGRAM. So how did you get that? The whole hit you up?
Yo, bro, I was chilling. I don't know what the fuck, bro. I was in the house kicking it, and Musa called, my manager called, like, yo, so fucking Jay-Z fucking wants you to test his weed out. Like, tell him if you know, like check this weed out and shit. Like, what? Yeah, and it's like collection agency was dropping that like the next day and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah. We went out and fucking we went to Frank Sinatra's house. Frank old Blue Eyes' home in Palm Springs, California. And some major folks were there. You know, I'm not like supermodel. I'm not the model hunter. So I don't know the chicks, but they were there. And fucking they're in the swimming pool with me fucking taking pictures. And this is the kick, all right? They told, all right, Jay-Z, MONOGRAM. All right, I could dig it. I got that part. In the midst of the photo shoot, Spitter, I need a little more energy. I need a little more from you, Spitter. So I'm immediately like, well, who? What? I'm looking over. Well, who's this? And it's fucking Hype Williams.
Yeah, crazy.
So legend. I'm like, you know that I'm Spitter, bro? Like, what the fuck you want me to do? How much more fucking energy do I need to fucking pour into this shit? You know what I'm saying? So that whole experience was crazy to me. And I really processed that I had done that. One of my buddies fucking tagged me in his Instagram story a few days ago, and he's in LA getting out of a cab, and I'm on a billboard fucking sitting in the swimming pool playing backgammon. Okay. And he is like, He like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I need you to explain this to me. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know what the fuck, you know? Word. So it hit me, it did that. And while I was looking at his post, when I got off of that, I saw I was tagged hella different times than other shit where I'm like, oh, this shit can went everywhere. So it was everywhere before I even put the pitch up. But that's the magnitude of what is Monogram. And when you fucking with motherfuckers like Jay-Z and shit, it gets like that, bro. So from there, I don't even know what else. Like, talking to you is a big thing for me. Every day shit seems to, and it's crazy because I've been saying this my whole career, bro, but and it's a blessing, but it always feels like every day something else happens, you know, in the direction of towards my ascension in the game. Like, and it's crazy because I'm an OG at this point. So you would think it's like, all right, let's level it off and coast and just enjoy how things are working. But it constantly gets bigger and bigger for us all the time, man. So, you know, again, that is why it's so important that I put my foot in this fucking NFT project in financial district. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm heading. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers hitting me up right now. I ain't trying to rush this. I'm gonna text them and be like, "This be cool."
Most dead. Man, I gotta ask you, the question of the streets right now is about that whole pack. How would you rate it, especially as someone who, you know, you rock?
Yeah. You know what? There's different. What I saw on the jars, they were numbered.
Okay.
They were numbered, and some of them had, I don't know if it was attributes to it, but like some of them said heavy.
Okay.
And shit like that on it. So I know the one that said heavy was heavy. Like that was it. I was combing the place for heavies. Like, well, do you have one of those heavies? Is that the heavy? So fucking like just load it up on heavies. As these pictures come out, know that every joint that I was holding was chock full of that one. It was chock full of heavies.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Has Hove, all right, so seeing how you have, you know, your knowledge as a businessman yourself, has Hove come to you for like advice on how to navigate, you know, like cannabis lines and whatnot, or even vice versa?
Nah, man. I don't. Not yet. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
You know, save it for, you know, Hamptons brunch maybe. Maybe we'll have that conversation when I go to a Hamptons brunch, or when they do the. I'm just gonna throw this out into the universe. When they do when they do that thing in LA again, when they have that fucking annual joint and it's fucking him and they're wearing mauve suits and shit like that. Fucking yeah, we'll talk about it then, because I'm just throwing it out there. I will be invited to it, you know. So yeah, we'll talk about that then, you know. Right now, it's about fucking financial district NFT.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I feel that. So it's interesting to me how you're even taking the NFT route and capitalizing off of that, and it's cool to hear you taking that so serious. Like, you can tell that you just, like you said, you're not willing to fumble the opportunity. And that kind of brings to other people that you've been around. You know what I'm saying? You have a history of being around Master P. You have a history of being around Wayne. What kind of game have they given you, if any, that kind of helped you at this level?
Okay. Well, check it. When you ask it'll go back to when you asked about like why I work so much, or the high music output. Yeah. I mean, we don't even have to talk about either of those factions, No Limit, or the entire entity that is Lil Wayne, with output of music. Master P, even if Master P wasn't physically making the music, he was in the studio and making sure that artists were constantly turning out music so that they would always have releases. When you would buy a fucking No Limit album, you'll look and it's like fucking next week fucking these 7 albums are dropping. You know what I'm saying? Me X, Mr. Servon. He's like, well, fuck. You know, so that, and with that said, that's how you sell 75 million records. Remember they were saying that shit? That was like their number. That was one of their fucking slogans about No Limit Records, like 75 million records. Like I guess so. Y'all keep putting them motherfuckers out. So that's how it goes. And with Wayne went from being, Wayne always was like a genius, but he was slept on in a sense, even with Cash Money making big waves. Lyrically, he might have been viewed as a novelty item that just came with Cash Money, but was a kid, and he's like fun to listen to. That's cool. It took a minute for him to fucking slap motherfuckers around and realize like what he was doing. But the only reason that happened is because he constantly worked. Outside of the projects that Cash Money was putting out, he was keeping a lot of shit in the streets and showing motherfuckers like what they could do with the mixtape game. You know what I'm saying? So that I had to tip my hat to him forever for that shit, you know, because if we are, and I feel like I coined the term audio dope, but if we are dope dealers and our product is our music, then that would mean that the studio is the lab. It's the lab. Like, and if you remember Narcos and shit, like Pablo would show up in those labs and shit, but like you want to live, that motherfucker who they called the Roach, he lived in that motherfucking lab and slept in the top. You know what I'm saying? But that's how you have to be, because this shit we making is just powder, but these people paying for it like it's gold. So let's stay in this motherfucker all day, turning these leaves, boiling this shit, making people step on the shit, whatever, add baking soda, do whatever the fuck we gotta do, because they want this shit. So you sit in the studio and you just keep churning that shit out, stack it up, because motherfuckers, they want it. And once you hit your stride and people wake up to you, then you have all these bricks stacked up in your closet to sell to them. You know what I'm saying? So you can, if a drug dealer could make his own cocaine out of his hands and not need to go get a plug, all they would do is make it. So why the fuck would you not be in the studio making the fucking drugs you sell all the time? It's just more money and more opportunity to get bigger, you know?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Yeah.
2 questions off of that, man. I got a Wayne question and I got to bring up one of your classic mixtapes. So I'm gonna start with the Wheezy question. I was watching you do an interview and you were talking about a time where you accidentally drunk some Hawaiian punch.
That fucking that Hawaiian punch, amazing melon mix.
Oh
yeah,
man. And it had the lean in it. Had you gone for sure.
Yes, it did.
Like what's another one of your favorite or the craziest like Wayne stories you have just from being around him?
Just wait.
Take your time.
We did a lot of shit, man.
Yeah, I could imagine. That's why I was like, I have to ask you.
We did a lot of shit, bro. I tell you what, through my whole run, I was never arrested. I know that much. We never got into that. Never happened my whole run there. I do know that. But the most, bro, it always was some shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, all right, okay. When I first got down with Young Money, the first day I went to the studio in Miami, and I was already like smoking weed with like broads I was hanging out with, you know, and because it made the mood right, it made shit cool, you know what I'm saying? But I had never been able to get my hands on like super fire shit when we travel.
Okay.
So this dude was at a different tier in the game, you know? So traveling and being able to get your hands on super fucking fire was a rarity to me. So my tolerance level was not where it is. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
So I remember fucking smoking like, and this was swishers, all right? Smoking, I don't know, countless swishers in the studio. And I thought maybe we was just smoking and hanging out. And then the beats came on. And I remember in my mind, it felt like I was in an empty auditorium. You know what I'm saying? And like lights came on, and I was like, "What? Like I have to do something?" You know what I'm saying? Like I was so fucking stoned. I was like, you're about to put words together, and then I have to do this. You know what I'm saying? It was fucking crazy. I didn't know that I was gonna be able to do it, but you know, champions do what champions do, and you find out about yourself because it's like you're not about to drop the ball because homie already have an idea of who he think you are. That's why he rolled the dice on it. Like, bro, come to Miami, fucking boom, 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 boom. So out of nowhere, I fucking found out who the fuck I was and was like, no, I actually love to be fucking blasted and try to think of shit to say. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like that's a day that was big, bro. You know what I'm saying? That day is the day I fucking like met the super fire. You know what I'm saying? And owned it and became one with it. You know, and realized like, yeah, you know, I had already had a love affair with weed, but not so much like using it to create and you know like get into my music and I found my sound and shit like that. You know, yeah. I realized like what BPM I liked and shit like that.
Got you.
Through being stoned. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sure. Speaking of those high moments, what do you do when you're fried? What are some like top 5 shows, cartoons, whatever it may be that you like to do?
No sweat. Check it out. Home movies.
Okay.
Do you remember home movies?
Nah, but put me on.
Okay. Let me think of another. Okay, do you know Bob's Burgers?
Yeah.
Archer, so forth and so on.
Yeah.
The voice of Bob's Burgers and Archer. He's this is one of his early on cartoons. Fucking you don't know about Dr. Katz either then, right?
Nah, I'm not hip.
All right, look, bro. Home movies, and then do the research and go back and get like Dr. Katz and Lucy, Daughter of the Devil and shit like that. So look, home movies, Archer, F is for Family, Lucas Brothers Moving Co. And Rick and Morty, of course.
Yeah.
American Dad is still a staple with me. I always was a little weirded out about the Cleveland show.
Why you say that?
Because the whole time I knew it wasn't a black dude doing his voice.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot until you actually just brought that up. That's still wild.
So, so like I dug it, but I was like, this is kind of fucked up because like I'm not tripping off the writer. He's white. I dig it. But so this really what y'all think, huh? Because the dude's writing it and you're in there saying it. Like this is fucking fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But it was cool. It had its moments. But you said 5 and I gave you 7. So yeah.
Nah, that's fine. And you gave me some stuff to look up after this as well. So I definitely.
Bruh, you are going to love home movies, bruh.
Word.
That shit is sharp. Listen, you like The Office?
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
It's cool?
Yeah, see, I don't know too much of it. That's why I said that. But from what I've seen, yeah, I seen the fire episode. So if the rest of the series is like that, where they had the fake fire drill, then I should probably
The writing is sharp and it's timeless. Okay. And home movies, aired in the year 2000, and
Okay.
they had 4 seasons. So it might have been done by 2003, 2004, possibly. But the jokes are timeless, bro.
Mm.
And it also some of the stuff they talk about. It's cool to throw yourself back to the era and hear them talking about shit that was important in pop culture and to people in the year 2000 and shit like that. Like one of like the guy who's Bob's Burgers voice. I think his name is John Benjamin in real, John H. Benjamin. He's suffering with insomnia at some point, and he checks himself into a sleep clinic where they were going to help him. They thought they were going to help him get some sleep. They hook him up to all these machines. He stays up for a week. At the end of the week, he's like, yo, this was dumb. This didn't work. I want to leave. They give him a check. And he realizes, like, oh, y'all were paying me for staying awake. So he stays there. This is the gag. He stays there for another week trying to stay awake because he wanted to save up enough money for a DVD player. And the first week, they gave him $150 for the first week. So he needed another $150. So DVD players were going for like $300 at this time.
That's crazy to think about, right?
Yeah, so like that's just said that's what I'm saying. You know, go and watch home movies, bro.
Okay. All right.
The first season, as all cartoons, the first season is crudely drawn. You know, like the lines are squiggly and shit. Don't sweat it. It tightens up second, third, and fourth season. You know, but that's the truth about all of them. The Simpsons looked fucking stupid. Family Guy, they looked weird and sounded crazy and shit. That's just how it goes, you know. Once that budget kick in and they start letting you use the computers and shit to animate, it fucking get like that.
Cooper Coop, man, turns 10 this year. People on social media are still putting respect on his name. Crazy collab you have with Alchemist, one of my favorite projects from you. So I just wanted to ask, why is that special to you in your catalog?
Because that's when I met him. Like, it's the same way that it happened with Harry Fraud. But like I met Al and was like, do I have to leave right now? Like, what time do you have to go and be a famous producer? And he was like, nah, I'm like locked in with you today. Like, let's do this shit. And as we would do one, I'm like, you got time for another one? Like, you got time for another one? And we were done. We had the fucking project.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was recording a day, right?
Yeah.
Man, listen. Double respect to that. Like, double salute. That's what's up for real.
Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro.
Word up. And my last question to you. So I know you're partnering up with Boundley. Like you said, you got a couple things coming with this NFT drop. It's some artwork. You said the smoke session, things like that. So if everything goes well, what are some other things, if anything, that you would like to potentially put on NFT?
Oh man, we're gonna go. I want to do art. I want to do I want to do a recording studio.
Dope.
Like, this dump, man. I want to do fucking I want to do NFT fucking like home furnishings, plates, butter dishes, shit like that. You'll see. I can't give the whole game up because motherfuckers is stealing. Like, my whole career has been people who have more eyes and ears on them borrowing my ideas, not giving me my credit, and then presenting them to their larger audience and standing there like the creator of that idea. And so I kind of got to play defense right now. This is a whole new world that's opening up, and I can't go for the same shit that I went for in the previous world. You know, I gotta protect my ideas. If it was just me and you rolling in the car, I would tell you. You know what I'm saying? But this is fucking double XL, bro. Like, fucking people will see. You know, even motherfuckers who don't like me are going to check this out to see if I say something stupid or to see if they can steal. So no.
No, I mean, you're doing something right if people checking for you like that. So.
Yeah, I know, but I want to do the shit right, and I want to fucking capitalize off it. I do shit right, and motherfuckers do shit like I did, and then they're the ones who touch the paper. So let me see what that shit about.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you wanted to include? We pretty much nailed everything, but anything else?
Nah, dude, we did everything, man. Fucking I'm amped about this show. I'm amped about this project. I'm about to go to the studio and knock this motherfucker out. I'm gonna go on Instagram live a couple of times.
Okay.
Just so motherfuckers could know that I'm in there working on it, but I don't want to share the sounds.
Yeah.
I don't want to post any of it to somewhere where it can exist on the internet for a while, because the sounds need to be, uniquely fresh to the listener, to the purchaser of the NFT,
Okay. Well, y'all heard it here, man. Currensy, double salute to you. Financial District 420.
Financial District 420. It's all good, man. I'm about to go to work right now.
Yes,
It
sir.
was all good, man. Thank you for having me, bro.
You already know. Stay up.
Respect.
Respect.